Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I've got a fantastic collection of cutting dies from our friends at Crafter's Companion. These are the Gemini Edgeables. This one is the Woodland Fairy cutting die. We've got the Spring Tulips, and this is Cascading Butterflies. I can't wait to show you what my friend Debbie came up with, so come back and play with us. So this is the Woodland Fairy, what it looks like when it's just cut from the edge here. I'm going to show you the die in a few minutes. This is the beautiful card that my friend Debbie came up with. It is gorgeous. Look at this. It has wings that move. There's layers. It is really, really beautiful. For this particular card, Debbie used, this is brand new for us. This is Windflower 6x6 patterned cardstock. This is gorgeous. All these flowers, so beautiful. The 6x6 is just the perfect size for this fairy. So let me show you here. First, Debbie cut this card. This is a 6.5-inch card. It started out. Then she cut it down to a 6-inch card so that it would easily pass through like a 6-inch wide platform die cutting machine, like a Gemini or the Big Shot. It would very easily pass through. But I want to show you how this would work if you don't have, or if you don't want to cut your card down, if you want to use it with a 6x6, like this is what it looks like when it's a larger card for the 6x6. And you want to do this, but it won't go through your 6-inch wide platform, and this is a 6.5-inch wide card. Wow, there we go. So how would you do this? How would you accommodate a larger card? So I'm going to show you how this works before I get into the details with Debbie's card. So I've got my 5x6.5-inch card here, and we like to use low-tack tape to attach this. So we've got our, and I'm going to turn this over to you in a minute so you can see what this looks like. So you would open your card like this, and you would take this is low-tack tape, this is by Hunky Dory. I like to attach it to the part of the card that's being cut away. If you attach it over here, you have to kind of pull it up and everything. This way, it's just going to stay down very nicely and it just falls away. So if it's like this is 6.5 inches wide, how do you accommodate that? Well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this and we're going to tape it here, and we're going to take the back of the card and fold it over. Then we're going to just take a scrap of cardstock and put it in between those layers. Then you can just take this and turn it. So now this is a 5-inch wide card, and it's going to fit through your die cutting machine beautifully. All right, so that is how that works. Now when you take this and you open it, the back of your card is going to have some impression on it. And I would just take a piece of cardstock and place it there and cover that up. And then you wouldn't have any problem there. Nobody would see that. All right, so let's take a look at this die and see what it looks like. So we're just going to take this off. There we go. All right, so that's what the die looks like. Now, before I move on, I wanted to show you something while I had this die full of little papers. Now, this, you guys, is this die brush, and it is also from Crafter's Companion. Been around for a really long time, works great. Recently, they've updated their packaging, and they've also included this wedge of foam inside the packaging. And I haven't used it yet. Usually, you take it and you just hold it in your hand and you run across those little tiny holes that are on the back of your die, and it just evacuates everything from the die. It's wonderful to have. I can't tell you, otherwise you have to sit here and poke all that paper out to get it out of your die. Anyway, I wanted to share with you the first time I'm going to use this. So we're going to see how this works. We're going to just place it on this foam, and we're going to run our little brush over the top of that, and we're going to see how it works. I was kind of curious, like, does this really make a difference? I would have to say, I think it works pretty much the same. Maybe I'm using it wrong. Have any of you used this with the foam? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you notice the great big difference about how that works. Okay, there we have it. Answered question. All right, so now we've got our shape. Everything's cut out of the card. Now, I'm going to take some scissors, because the card is a little bit longer than the die. You just cut away from the top. Now, if you were doing this on like a 7-inch long card, you would do the same. You would just cut off that little excess piece there. Yeah, it works pretty well. All right, so let's take a look at how Debbie did this with her card. So she started off with her card and cut it to 6, and it's already 5 inches, and then she covered it with that windflower paper with the border on the side. All right, then she took her cutting die, she placed it right about there, okay, taped that down, and then ran it through her machine, okay, and then what we've got is going to look just like this. So it cut through the card as well as the patterned paper on top. Then she went ahead and she did this again using the coordinating green cardstock for the windflower paper, solid cardstock, and she die cut it 2 more times from the green, okay? And then she just took her scissors and we're just evacuating this little fairy. So what we're going to do is just take our scissors and just cut this little fairy free from the background. And what I'm doing here is I'm just sort of imagining a line there, and I'm just cutting about a 1/4 inch away from the die cut image. Okay, and then we get to here. We're just going to cut this part off, and then there we go. Now we've got our beautiful fairy. She actually did this twice, so I've got another one right here. The first one, she went ahead and just glued directly over this die cut fairy from the card front. Glued that there. And then the second fairy, okay, she took this sheet of, this is like wonderful little clear glitter paper. It's like self-adhesive clear paper. And she placed that, I'm gonna actually just cut some of this off. Gotta find my scissors. There we go. What we're gonna do is just cut just this much off. Like that. Looks like I kind of cut it the wrong way, but we can still make it work. There we go. Right, and then you're just going to take your scissors and cut off this excess bit. And because, as you can see, it is quite sticky, if I was going to cut away more than that, I think I would actually do the next step first. But it's such a small amount to cut away. We're okay. Right now you're going to take a sheet of acetate, which we sell by the sheet, and we're going to do the same. We're just going to cut a little bit of this away because we don't need to attach the whole sheet to this thing. So this is very sticky. I'm just going to put that right there. And then you're just going to take this and we're going to cut around it just like this. And we're putting that acetate on there so that, number one, we're having this beautiful clear butterfly, but then we're also taking care of that acetate and those specks, okay? So then this butterfly, this little cute little guy, is going to get laid down right on top of this one. Not a butterfly, it's a fairy. Right on top of this one. There you go. And then she took some of these are fuchsia border dazzle stickers, and she put one here and then this little greeting came inside of the paper pack for the windflowers. Right there. All right, so let's move on to the next card. So this next one is the Spring Tulips. This beautiful, beautiful card Debbie made. So pretty. Oh, got a piece of paper in there. There we go. And for this one, she used the new paper pack. This is 12 by 12 Tulips and Butterflies patterned cardstock, and then it's got its coordinating solid cardstock. And for this one, Debbie die cut this just from the card, the white card, okay? And then if you want to back these, okay, you're going to take and put a little bit of that pink cardstock behind each one of those. So this is what we're going to do. You can take this is Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue, and you're just going to put a little bit of glue behind each one of those tulips, but I would just do them one at a time. So we're just going to put a little bit that, and then I would just take my finger and just kind of move that around just like this. We're going to just take a portion of this paper, this cardstock, and we're going to glue it right there. And then normally I would just give that a couple of minutes to dry, but we're just going to move forward. And then what you're going to do is take your little scissors and just lift up that paper edge. Maybe we can zoom in a little bit there, Houston, and we're just going to cut around. And then this part we're going to cut behind like that. There you go. There we go. All right, so you would do the same with the other blossom and then the same with the stems. So when you're all done then, you don't want all this paper piecing to show in the back. So when you're all done, you're going to put some glue on the back of the card. You're going to glue a piece of white cardstock behind that. And then you would just take your scissors and cut just around that outside edge. Like that. So you're going to have a nice covered inside like this one, and it's going to look very nice and clean. And then Debbie took a strip of the tulip paper and matted that with the green cardstock right there. And then she used, this is one of the coordinating die cuts. We have a pack of die cuts that goes with that. And she glued the label here and the foam tape, and on the inside covered that with a beautiful paper. So you would then write your message on that side. All right. All right, next, this fantastic technique that Debbie did using, this is the Cascading Butterflies. So I wanted to show you first what the Cascading Butterflies looks like. This is just after I've die cut it from the 5 by 6.5 inch card. So I'm just going to go ahead and release that by cutting away that top and bottom edge. There we go. That's what that beautiful edge looks like. Now Debbie actually took this and she did this fantastic technique where she doubled it and made this beautiful, like 6 butterflies, and they're connected. So gorgeous. I'm going to show you how she did that. First thing is she took her background of her 5 by 6.5 inch card and she covered it with silver linen cardstock and then black cardstock. All right, and then she took some more silver linen and she actually folded it and scored it, okay? So you would want to fold it over about as wide as the die, so probably 2 to 3 inches. So I'm going to show you how she did that with just a blank card. Okay, so we're going to die cut this from white. So the card already has the fold in it. And then what you're going to do is this is the die line and this is the line that would normally go, okay, so normally go along the edge of the card like this. But Debbie switched it up. She put it along the fold of the card, just like that. And you want to have it so that, maybe we can zoom in a little bit more on this one. You want to have it so that right here, the edges of your die just barely stick out, those cutting edges, okay? And when you do that, you're going to get the shape right here. Okay, and you lift that off, and then you've got this piece here that you're going to cut away. All right, now if you opened this card, that's what you're going to get, which is very cool on its own. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the scissors. Now remember, she did this from silver linen paper. What you're going to do is just take your scissors, and you're just sort of mirroring what you see on the other side. Cutting that away. Okay, so you're going to cut that all the way around, okay, until you get this. So you can see Debbie cut all the way around that edge. So that when you open it, it's like those paper dolls, right? You get this beautiful look right there. Then when she got to this point, remember this is out of silver linen, she backed those with, these are sparkling sheets. These are iridescent sheets of paper, and there's all these different colors in here. They're gorgeous, and they're backed. Here we go. They're backed with sort of this cardstock. So they're not, they look like they'd be really delicate and flimsy, but they're not. They just have this beautiful shimmer. There's a nice blue. And she took that and she took each one of the colors and she backed that. So there's some cutting that she did around each one. Okay, so she just put some glue on the back, one at a time. I wouldn't glue the whole thing. Just put glue on one, then took a little rectangle of paper and set it there, cut around it, and do the other one. When that's all done, and she just glued that over her black cardstock and did this wonderful little greeting right there, which is from this package. These are pastel and pearl script greeting dazzle stickers, and she used this beautiful silver. They're just lovely. So you guys, that's what we've got today. Lots to show you. These dies are so beautiful, and as you can see, super versatile. They look beautiful just as they are, just cut from the edge of a card, maybe lined with a little bit of paper, and then you're good to go with a beautiful, beautiful card. Or you can take them to this level, which is just so beautiful. Debbie did such a wonderful job. So check out our money saver. It's on the right-hand side of the screen. And we've also got all the products used if you're just interested in one or two things down below. If you're watching us on YouTube, we have the link to this channel in the description box below the video. And hey, subscribe. We do 3 to 5 of these videos a week, and we don't want you to miss anything. Give us a thumbs up too. Thanks for joining us today, and I'll see you next time.